Okay, I guess we're live. Okay, so let's just wait for more people to join. Um, Okay,
Yeah, people are flowing in if you want to wait a couple minutes or get started whenever you feel.
okay, yes, just waiting. What? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Shelly, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Uh,
just okay. So I'm going to start now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live event of the Black History Month with African Women Giants. Today, we're going to be sharing with you a lot of African story. My name is Omowonola, and I'm joining you from Nigeria. I use GIS in the energy sector. Today, I'll be joined by Shirley. Shirley is joining us from Zimbabwe, and Shirley will be my co-moderator. Hello, Shirley. How are you doing? How is the weather over there? It's kind of very cold here.
Hi, Omonola. Thank you so much. Once again, welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight and today in some parts of the world. Well, it's quite right in the west, right? It's a bit hot, unlike the few days, so that's something to enjoy, right? So yeah, once again, welcome to the Black History Month event with African women in GIS. Today we are celebrating women in GIS, and I just want to highlight something that I feel is very important pertaining to this event, and African women in GIS and North Star GIS for organizing this event. As much as this is an opportunity for promoting representation, diversity, it is also an opportunity to promote, it's sort of like an opportunity to promote inclusion because having an event like this virtually means it's providing an opportunity to a whole lot of other people who wouldn't have had the same opportunity to listen to people who look like them, people who share the same ambitions and career prospects with them. So this is really a wonderful thing and a good thing that you guys are doing, that we are doing. Sorry. So I just want to say thumbs up. And once again, welcome back to you, Omonola. Omonola, are you still there?
Oh yeah, sorry, my internet is kind of bad.
Right.
Okay, so I'm having issues with my internet. Yeah, so like Shirley highlighted, I feel like
But we can
this
hear you
event
fine
is
now.
actually like, yeah. So I feel like this event is actually a good one because I remember also the time when I was in school, like I could not, there was nobody I could look up to. I had so many questions about using GIS in Africa, and I could not see enough women to actually answer the questions I have. So I feel like this opportunity, it would be a great opportunity for people that are just coming up, even people that are already like that already started. It would be a good opportunity for them to learn and hear from other women who have gone so far. You hear where they come from and what they're doing with GIS. So now today we're going to be showing you what diversity looks like in our community because African Women in GIS is a community of diverse women from all over Africa. We want you to feel what it means to be an African. We want you to hear our languages. We want you to feel our culture. So now we are going to be showing you what diversity looks like in our community. And can we have the diversity video, please?
GIS is a community that accommodates girls and women who are interested in pursuing an education or a career in the geospatial industry. They have been nothing but truly amazing since I have joined them. I am proud to be a member.
Thank you very much, guys. This has been a great platform for me, and I'm sure it has been a great platform for all other African women in GIS. I've learned a lot from other women who have made it in the GIS career, and I believe that this is a great platform for all other young women out there who want to pursue GIS but they don't know where to go or where to start from. And so I'd encourage every young lady out there and any all young girls who want to pursue geography or GIS to go for it.
Sanibonani, igama lami Sinethemba Ndlovu waseNingizimu Afrika. Si-African Women in GIS siyanamukela kwinyanga esigubha ngayo abantu abamnyama.
Hello, I'm Shona from Zimbabwe. Welcome today.
Hi, I am Maigali. I am Arab Muslim from Egypt. Ahlan bikum. Welcome in African Woman in GIS.
Hello, my name is Ndabile Ngu. I come from Mangochi, which is a district in the southern region of Malawi. Topojele.
I am Arabian Muslim from Egypt. Ahlan wa sahlan.
My name is Chinwe Ukaha. I'm from Abia State, Nigeria, and I'm Igbo. No.
Makadi Mose, zita rangu ndinoitwa Patience Nyakudya, ndiri chizvarwa chemuZimbabwe. Ndiri mumwe wemadzimai anobata nesangano reAfrican Women in GIS. Tinokukokai kuti tibatane nemi pamwe chete mukupemberera mwedzi weBlack History Month. Tinotenda.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Siana. Shirley, do you have your culture represented in the video?
I would like to think of myself as multicultural, and one of them is represented, but the other one is not. I'm Shona, but I live in a region, in Eastern Ndebele region. So in Eastern Ndebele, we say, Yaliamukela, welcome.
Oh, okay, so I'm actually Yoruba from Nigeria, and in my home culture, we say Ekabo, that means welcome. Yeah, so thank you for that, Siana. So now we're going to be moving on to the story map presentation. So, one question that we asked in the story map presentation is we asked our women in our community, we asked them that, what do you feel like, where would you think you will be career-wise in 5 years? Shirley, do you think that there are barriers to that? Do you think that there are barriers to women actually saying, okay, this is where I want to be in 5 years? What do you think could be a barrier that will actually limit what a woman can do, projecting to the future that way?
Well, one of the biggest challenges that we have in our African culture is the idea of settling down and, committing to the house, being a housewife, raising children, taking care of the in-laws and everyone else. So I feel like one of the challenges that us as women in the African context might face pertaining to our ambitions and prospects career-wise is that limitations based on marriage and children. If you want a family, you might be put in a position where you have to pick one. Should I pursue my career, or should I just stick to being a housewife and raising kids at home and all that? And you take, for example, myself. Well, this is something that if you had asked me this question a few years, maybe a year ago, it wouldn't have been one of my ambitions. But right now, I'm an aspiring academic, and I'm part of a research lab. And in our research group, there are only 2 women out of 9 members of that research group. So for me, it's an issue of, one, I do not really have anyone to look up to. There's no representation there. As much as there is that lady, but she's also myself. So I don't think it's that women in academia back then, so much so that we wouldn't have representation. But I feel like there are limitations. And because I believe most people want to have families of their own, you end up choosing one over the other. But I feel like what we are doing right now presents an opportunity, because I believe there are a few women on this panel. We have, they're also soaring in their careers, an opportunity to let someone out there know that you can have the best of both worlds. I'd like to think so. So
Yeah, I think that I agree with you on that, because I feel like we have people in the panelists who are actually married, and I feel like one thing that we can learn from them is learn how they are able to combine the family side and then the career side. So I feel like it's something that we should sit back, and I feel like we're going to learn a lot from it. So now let's see what our women we have in our community. Let's see what they had to say about where they want to be in 5 years. We hope you enjoyed this session.
Thank you very much, Omo, Nola, and Shelley. Hello,
Can
everyone.
we have the story map presentation now?
Yeah, the story map is showing now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Sihana Lina Williams, and I'm a co-founder of African Women in GIS. Today, I have the honors of presenting some of the stories of some of our members concerning their journey in their GIS career. Today, we'd like to share with you our African story, and we hope that you experience the geospatial world through the eyes of African women in GIS. So I'd like to begin today to show a very nice story map. As you can see, first person is Olive. Olive is actually an early career survey intern, and she says that in the next 5 years, she hopes to be at a level where she understands and knows by heart the different means of tackling problems through GIS without having to consult or even Google. And her vision for GIS is that it will be one of the most prominent industries in Africa. The fun fact about Olive is that she's hardworking and very resilient. You can find her on LinkedIn, and we will be sharing this story map with the public. So if you want to reach out to any of them, you can definitely do so. Now, next, we actually have Fatima. So Fatima is from Morocco, and she's a mid-career. She's in her mid-career, and she is a professor at the National School of Public Health. And her motivation to take up GIS was to use it in public health, and she hopes to see herself as an international expert in GIS in public health. She says that her biggest achievement in GIS is supporting and training regional health observatories staff to use GIS. And her vision for GIS is that it will be to make decisions in all levels of Ministry of Health, not only in Morocco, but in all other countries. She has many fun facts, but she couldn't limit herself to one, and you can connect with her on LinkedIn. Next, we have Maigali, and she is a seasoned professional as a senior GIS pre-sales consultant. And her passion for sketching historical maps whilst in university motivated her to learn cartography and GIS. Her vision for GIS is that hopefully all ages will use GIS, especially in public schools and in all business, to put mapping one of the first priorities to develop their business. And the fun fact is she loves to take pictures. You can connect with Mai or LinkedIn. Next, we have Charlene, and she is in her early career as a GIS developer. Her passion for solving problems and desire to help people learn effective and easy ways to carry out existing practices and processes motivated her to take up GIS. In the next 5 years, Charlene says she wants to see herself as a senior GIS developer in a big data space. Her vision for GIS is increased incorporation of AI and data science in GIS. Charlene's biggest GIS achievement is learning to code GIS applications and maps instead of just using the software. And the very fun fact about her is that she's an avid reader and often reads plus or minus 300-page books in a day. And you can connect with her on LinkedIn. Next, we have Ivy, who is in mid-career as a physical planner and GIS analyst. Her passion for urban planning and mapping to improve spatial decision-making and plan formulation motivated her to take up GIS. In the next 5 years, Ivy would like to incorporate her GIS expertise in the field of urban planning and integrate that with business development and solve a multitude of problems across multiple disciplines. Her vision for GIS is that it will transverse all sectors as a decision-making tool. Olive is a very funny lady, and she would have you in stitches when you hang out with her. Connect with her on LinkedIn, definitely. Next, we have Danny Love. Danny Love is a PhD student and a geological teacher. She is a PhD student and is interested in geohazards, especially landslides, which are becoming highly destructive in Cameroon. This motivated her to take up GIS. In the next 5 years, she says, after completing my PhD degree, I hope to be hired in an institution of higher education and also be a consultant in the field of geohazards, risk reduction via susceptibility mapping, in which GIS plays a major role. And her vision for GIS is to be made available to the end user and more collaboration among GIS experts of different countries and also among African countries. You can connect with her on LinkedIn as well. Now we have Adirin Sula, who is in her mid-career as a GIS or data analyst. Her curiosity for more answers that theoretical geography wasn't given motivated her to take up GIS. In the next 5 years, she says, I see myself doing my best in my own little way for my community, incorporating new fields and breaking new bounds that are GIS related and taking GIS to a higher level in my community. Her vision for GIS is for it to be used in every sector to solve problems. And she says her superpower is just hers to know, just like Supergirl. And you can connect with her on LinkedIn. Next, we have Birungi. Birungi has her love for technology, and she's very curious, and that motivated her to take up GIS. There's nothing more exciting than tackling a new challenge for her. Her vision for GIS is that it will be advanced and used even in the rural areas of her country. And her biggest achievement in GIS, she says, is making a malaria geomap. She says her superpower is that she is very charming and can make friends anywhere. She's definitely ready to make friends with you as well. So you can connect with her on LinkedIn. Now, next we have Priscilla, who is in her mid-level career as a GIS technician. The ability to solve real-world problems in all sectors, such as health, banking, finance, and government motivated her to take up GIS. In the next 5 years, Priscilla says she sees herself attaining a PhD and have engaged in GIS consultancy services. Her vision for GIS is geoartificial intelligence and automated map making, as well as open data in all African countries. Priscilla says her biggest GIS achievement is applying GIS at Zipline, which is a medical drone delivery company that provides blood, vaccines, and medical products to health facilities in Ghana, Rwanda, and USA. A very interesting fact about Priscilla is that she likes to think she's Beyonce in her dreams. You can connect with her on LinkedIn. Now, next we have Abib, who is in her mid-career level. And her motivation to take up GIS was that she could continually grow and move forward in an environment of lifelong learning, and it offers her many opportunities to make better decisions. In the next 5 years, she sees herself as a certified GIS professional, and her vision for GIS is a global working tool with full access with simple clarification for all users. She says her superpower is her ambition and her smile, as we can see. Now, next we have Faith. Faith is an early career level, and in a program strategy on mapping at a national scale water resources protection area in Zambia. She says that her motivation for taking up GIS was her work as a hydrologist that required her to work with a GIS specialist on spatial needs, and later developed a great passion for applying GIS. She says, I don't see myself as a GIS specialist, but as a scientist who has a strong GIS capacity and is able to innovatively execute assignments and lead water resource project teams. Her biggest achievement is transferring her skills from hydrology to GIS and playing a key role in developing the Zambia Hydro Atlas. You can definitely connect with her on LinkedIn. So these are just a few of our members who are willing to connect with you on LinkedIn and share their stories further. Now I'll take us through a bit about African women in GIS. Who are we? We are a community that's made up of African women in the geospatial industry who work steady or are basically enthusiastic about the GIS career. And our community aims to allow them to be themselves, to gain mentors, career advice, partake in geo projects, improve their portfolios, access job opportunities, scholarship information, and other advantages. And we aim to allow our members to showcase their work to the world. So our community started out as two separate groups, one in Ghana and another in Nigeria, where Chidinma started hers in Nigeria in July 2017, and I started mine in Ghana, April 2019. And we met on LinkedIn, and after conversing or just exchanging some of the difficulties that we were facing in the geospatial industry and how our members were facing same, we decided to join forces and form the African Women in GIS. Now, why we started was because of a certain number of reasons that we realized from our members and even from our own journeys. We realized that there was definitely a gender gap and that the industry was dominated by men. We also had lack of proper career guidance and a lack of exposure of African female in GIS role models. There was also the lack of grassroots GIS benefits and application awareness among students, because in the primary schools and high schools, we weren't taught the course GIS. We didn't even know that it existed. We also have the gender career tenacity of some African parents, which is that some African parents have put in their mind certain courses that they think is okay for certain genders, therefore limiting the female child of the kind of sources or the courses that you can offer in the university and in high school. We also had a limited number of GIS jobs in African countries, inaccessible GIS job information, and lack of GIS mentor for career guidance. In order to solve all this, we created the African Women in GIS online community. And these are a list of our wonderful executives, and we have a number of volunteers who have helped us to not only make this event successful, but also to contribute daily to make the community great. This is also a map showing some of the locations of our members in the whole world, with a large number in Nigeria and a growing number in the rest of the countries. We hope to one day fill the whole world with our presence and to help motivate others to do the same. Some of our activities that we have is one, in collaboration with other communities such as Women in Geospatial, North Star of GIS, Esri, Here Technologies, GeoLatinas, and other organizations to organize events and activities. And currently we are collaborating with North Star to have this wonderful event to bring more awareness for people like us. And this event is a power initiative by North Star of GIS, and we are honored to be part of it. This is our journey into the GIS as our career. This is the African story. You can definitely find our details and find us on Twitter and LinkedIn. And we currently have our website, which shall be unveiled getting to the end of this program. Thank you very much for your attention.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sienna, for that. Yeah, thank you so much, Sienna, for that. So please, if you are willing to join the African Women Giants community, it's a platform for you if you're a woman and you want to start a career in GIS, or you're already in the, or you mean you're interested and you don't know where to go. Please, you can reach out to us on social media, on our Twitter and our LinkedIn pages. So I think now we can move to our panel session. Shirley, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Monole. Thank you. And thanks so much, Sienna. I think moving on to our next session, the panel discussion, I'll just introduce everyone and then maybe they can introduce themselves in detail. So we have Stella and we have Chinyere, we have Mona Lisa and we have Mai. Welcome to our panel, ladies. Sorry about that. Please, may everyone turn off their mics. I don't know if that echo is coming from me. Thank you so much. So please, Stella, go ahead, introduce yourself and let us know who you are, what you do, and just the basics.
Thank you, Shali. My name is Stella Chalangat Mutai from Kenya. I am currently a geospatial consultant with International Fund for Agriculture Development, and I am in the process of beginning school in the 1st of March in Max Planck Institute in Germany. I'm going to do data science in ecosystem resilience using remote sensing. That's me. I'm going to do my PhD there. That's me in a nutshell. Thank you.
Well, that is amazing. Thank you so much, Stella. And we are so honored to have you with us tonight. Next on, we have Chinyere. Chinyere, may you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Chinyere and I'm currently a research student at the University of Lethbridge. I'm currently using multitemporal and multispectral LiDAR data to map fuel loss. That's what I'm doing. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Chinyere. We are so glad to have you with us here tonight and welcome once again. Next one, we have Mai. Mai, may you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. I am Maigali. I am from Egypt. I am working now as a senior GIS pre-sales consultant. I have more than 17 years experience in GIS with many different application of GIS with Esri. I also have good experience with remote sensing and cartography. For myself, I love drawing and drawing characters and graphics. That's all about me. Thank you.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Mai, and we are so honored to have you with us here tonight. And lastly, we have Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa, may you please introduce yourself?
Mona Lisa, may you please introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you. Good day, everyone. I'm Mona Lisa Maremba, and I'm from Zimbabwe. I've been in the GIS industry for, say, less than 5 years. I'm still in my early career. I am very passionate about technology, and at the moment, I'm a freelance GIS consultant. I'm in the process of registering a GIS consultant with a couple of my friends here in Zimbabwe, and we just hope to change the norms and the way business is done. I'm very passionate about business, and I would love to use GIS technology and different business aspects. So
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. So I think we're just going to start with the session. Um, so I think that the way I got into JS was I didn't really even know that there was something called JS. I was going to register for to study a degree in the university, and the person that was doing my registration just mistakenly gave me GIS as a course, and that was why how I started, and I got into GIS in my school, and then I started, and I fell in love with it. So Stella, I don't know, like I just want to ask you, like, what was your basis for choosing GIS? Was it something you stumbled into, like I did, or was it something you just wanted to do, like you knew what you wanted to, and you just went for it? So what was your basis for choosing GIS as a career?
That's a very good question, Akintola. For me, GIS was something that I bumped into, so it wasn't my desire. However, two people influenced my decision to choose GIS. That was my dad, who is a lecturer, and a lady called Lucy Chepkoskei, who many of you know. She posts a lot about geospatial in Kenya. So those are the two people who really influenced me. However, I didn't know much concerning geospatial. Thank you.
Hello. Well, that is quite some story, Stella and Omono. And I'm pretty sure that that's because that's also sort of like my story. When I enrolled in university, my background is land surveying. I didn't know anything like land surveying or GIS, but it is an extensive background in GIS. So I didn't know anything about that. But then I can safely say that I have fallen in love with the industry, and I like what we are doing where I am right now. And it's been a worthy risk, because when I took the course, it was a risk. And as Siana said earlier on, that with African parents, you need to be careful which career you're choosing. So taking a risk like that,
Yeah.
it was quite a huge step. But so far, it has turned out well, and that is something to to celebrate and to enjoy. But anyways, next on Chinyere, may you please just share with us what was the inspiration, what was the motivation behind you choosing GIS as a career path? Or was it by coincidence, or you knew full well what you were getting yourself into when you started off on this road?
I have a background in geography, so I was really interested in risks and vulnerability mapping. And then I spoke to my HOD then. His name is Professor J. Obuna, and he told me that, oh, you could use GIS, you could do a lot with GIS, you could even map erosion, you could map rigs. There's a lot of things you could do with GIS, and that was how my interest started in GIS. So I was really interested in mapping erosion risks in southeastern Nigeria, which is where I come from. And I wanted to understand how can I integrate all the data, like the parameters, to actually map out the areas that are really prone to erosion. So that was how I started my journey into GIS, and that's it.
Oh, that's so yeah, that's such a great story. So Maigali, I just have one question for you. I know you've been in the profession for quite a while, so I just want to ask, like, what was your dream while starting to work in GIS industry? Did you see yourself becoming this person that you are now? I know you work as a consultant. Do you see yourself becoming what you are now? So what was your dream like when you started? Maigali, can you share that with us?
Okay, let me
Yeah.
have a brief about this. When I started my first job as cartographer, I was passionate about making map, and I have one dream to be one of well-known cartographers in the world. I may don't achieve this dream actually, but at least I try to learn and educate myself well to know all what's news about cartography. And once I see any styles or maps, I can definitely do similar to this maps. Also, when I started my career at 2005, Google Map was just released. Their maps on geoportal, and I have a challenge for myself to do the same styles and symbols, and I did it. I would like to leave behind myself a good portfolio in the cartography. To anyone who love maps to create and try to learn from this framework now. And I hope they published book about maps and cartography work that be a reference for many listeners from the cartography. I hope so. Thank you.
I dropped off a bit, so I think I'll just continue the conversation. So thank you so much for, I don't know, Mona Lisa, had you shared your story of joining the GIS industry?
GIS industry.
No, I haven't. I had lost my connection a bit there. I would say my journey, as the other ladies have said, it was coincidental. Actually, I remember when I was studying in college, I had chosen a different program. Then I had this professor who was very enthusiastic and passionate about GIS, and he was breathing and eating GIS. He was always talking about it. So I got interested. I said, why not? I could do this. So that's how I got into GIS, and my journey has been exciting. From then, I get to learn a lot. Each new day is an opportunity to explore and find out more about GIS.
Oh, okay. That's so inspiring. Can we go to the next slide? So we have some questions actually from the audience, and I think like okay, so now we are in the next slide. So I think we can just like take those questions. Okay, so Maigali, I'm going to be asking you this question because I know you've actually been in the industry for a longer time. You mentioned that you've been in the industry for 17 years. So I just want to ask, as a woman, what are the kind of obstacles that you had to overcome while you were like coming up and growing in the career? Well, as a woman from Africa, what were the kind of barriers that you had to overcome during your career progression?
About obstacles, there are roots, there are different inescapable obstacles that we face, and it may be stuck in our route, so we can't continue. But we should be strong when we are trying to face these obstacles. For me, I studying new topics. This was too difficult for me to achieve balance between studying and my family and my work at the same time. I started as a category said, and then I started learning remote sensing. I don't have any background previous about remote sensing, but I started to learn well and educate myself all what about remote sensing and what was area and analysis using different type of satellite. I read about all application about and solutions that we can use in remote sensing to try to apply it in different sectors. This was one of the obstacles that I faced because this field in my country at Egypt, there was not there wasn't a lot of courses that I can have it. So I depend on the open source resources from internet and some of the websites that provide some training materials and videos. Another obstacles that I may face was about how to find how to keep progress in my work and have and position myself in the market, in the Egyptian market, because after year of 2013 there was a drop in the market and there was a lot of resources, of GIS resources. I need to position myself to have a good opportunity and reserve my opportunity at this time. So I keep myself learning and educate myself every day. Every day I try to learn a new thing and challenge myself with all topics. I may face some new topics and I try studying for many nights. Keep studying until I challenge myself or until I solve any problems that I face in during my daily tasks. So these are the type of obstacles that I face during my journey. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Maigali, thank you so much. I think it's so inspiring to see that even though you had to go through all the things that you went through, that you've become who you are now, and that you're now on top of your career. Stella, I think that you might also have a little bit of thing to share about this, because I know that you are a bit ahead also in your career. So would you like to share from your own point of view as well, like talking about being an African woman, being in Africa, what are the obstacles that you had to overcome during your career progression?
That's a very good question. For me, I'd face it in two angles. One is age. The opportunities that we face currently as young people in the geospatial sector is very different from what was there 5 years ago. So that means we are more exposed. That means what we know is beyond our age capacity. So one of the things I have maneuvered along is either I attain opportunities at a very young age, and that comes as a big factor because most people in Africa tend to treat people based on their ages, and that's a very thing that needs to be changed as we progress forward. Number two is the gender perspective. I studied in a class from my bachelor's to my master's, and currently as I go to my PhD, where the male gender perspective is higher than the female gender perspective. So what that does to someone is that it can kill a girl's confidence, or sometimes it tends to provide a space of more silence to someone to go into an inner space of not wanting to communicate because of the fear of the gender perspective within a class. And so that was also my major challenge. How did I overcome the two? One, the key thing about age is being skillful in what you do. You have to be really skillful, such that even if you work with people that are very older than you, especially now that geospatial is growing into a digital space more than just an analog space. So you have to be really a skillful person, such that they cannot ignore you, and such that you know what is ahead. And especially now for those people who are well learned on programming, most of the old people who are in this sector don't know much of programming. So that becomes a hindsight that they tend to value your skill more than your age, and that becomes something that represents you. Concerning gender, I have learned to network. One of the ways that can give you a voice, especially if gender perspective is there, is learning how to interact with the opposite gender and ensuring that you have a voice. Raise your voice and be understandable in what you're doing. For example, one of the things I've learned, especially in the technical career, is that girls tend to shy away a lot, even in terms of speaking. And that's the thing I had to learn over time, how to overcome public speaking, or how to overcome my intellectuality and just come out clear, precise, and knowing when to say no and knowing when to say yes. And so that's a perspective for the young girls who are joining this industry, that they will face a lot of male representative among many choices they will make in the geospatial sector. But one of the ways, as I said, be skillful. Number two, understand your principles and be very clear about them. And number three, do not shy away from opportunities. Even if you feel young and you're not yet qualified to it, sometimes giving it a try gives you a picture that you are well determined, and it can actually give you the opportunity that you least expected you'd attain. Yep.
Thank you so much, Stella. I feel like you made so many great points there. And yeah, and I feel like that's one thing why the African women in GIS community is actually a great one, because all those challenges, like you mentioned, that women do really shy away from taking opportunities. And I feel like that's one thing we encourage in our community. We try to push women that you can do this. And I feel like younger people hearing this from you also like will help. So we have two questions from the attendees, which I feel like really, really aligns with what we're discussing right now. So somebody asked in the attendee that the okay, so give some of the barrier. Okay, so we've outlined some barriers now. So they're asking that what are some ideas you have about addressing gender inequality in the field of GIS? I know you've shared some. Then what can we do, and at what levels, individual all the way up to national policy level, to help support an increase in the number of women in this field? So what do you think are things that we can do to try to challenge people, women, especially to encourage women to actually like go into this field? Because personally, from my own experience, I've seen some women, people that I know, that my friends, they had to drop from the industry because they do not really like, I don't know, I think they don't really know what they don't really see the importance of having a career in the geospatial industry. So I feel like, so what do you think about this?
That's a very good question. I'll only highlight 3 points. Probably the rest of the panel can help in answering that. One of the things that I have learned along the geospatial, especially for us women, that there are roles that can never change or be taken away from us. That will include roles of becoming a mom, becoming a wife. So what we need to come up is a space whereby even if I become a mom, I still have a space in the geospatial sector, that I can be able to cope up with the situation whereby that as I leave to become a mom, as I come back to the industry, I should not be left out. So that means that there needs to be a base or a group or something within the women in geospatial that enhances the value of mothers joining the geospatial sector. Number two, one of the things that I'd really enhance is networking beyond our age. That will create a really strong network system within us. I like what Gali has 25 years of experience. One of the things I've also learned being a young girl is that sometimes when we join the industry, we want to associate with people that are within our age sector. But to be honest enough, the only best way to grow is when you associate with someone who has gone where you have been. And so what will enable us to grow and come out of our fear is to reach out to elder women who like Sini, who have gone higher than us, and allowing them to be able to mentor us. Because to be honest, a mentor cannot come to you and tell you things that can help or benefit you. No, you need to be hungry enough for that knowledge, then go and reach out to that mentor. So that will kill a lot of fears. It will change your perspective concerning some things, because what hinders us is what we're fed in our minds. Like geospatial is a technical perspective. Geospatial is a very difficult field. But if you interact with someone who has gone there ahead of you, it will help change a lot of perspective. And that's why I'm really glad about Gis or African Women in Geospatial, because it provides mentorship so that it enables you to see the challenges you face in Uganda is not the same challenges we face in Kenya. And even if it's the same challenges, how do we handle it? And that will help us build on a lot of fears. My third and last point that I find very important is, as I said before, is learn to believe in yourself. I don't know how much I can say concerning this, but one of the things I have learned along the way, no one can believe in you more than how you believe in yourself. What you sell on the outside is what people get to gain. And so one of the things that I like, and I've seen most of these women that have been highlighted here, one of the best ways to sell yourself is build a public profile. We cannot all listen to you, or we cannot know your voice. But if we see your LinkedIn profile, it builds a big profile concerning you. You might be a startup in a geospatial field, but believe you me, as you interact in a LinkedIn profile, or as you see many young women building their platform, you will learn to value that small thing. Even if you just attended this conference and picked something, go and post it in LinkedIn. With that, maybe an employer will see your interest is growing and maybe give you an opportunity. So don't shy away from telling the public what you do, and don't shy away from the public space, especially from the media, because this current generation, or rather this current spaces, we are all digital. Especially we've learned that in Corona. So I'd really encourage them to believe in themselves and build a profile for yourself. No matter how small it seems, just start somewhere. By the time 5 years reaches, you'll realize you've gone so much and you've learned so much. Yep.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stella, for that. I really feel like, like you mentioned that we are moving to the digital world, and I feel like one thing that digitalization has really provided for us is access. Like, we have access to people. You can have access to anybody you want to because of the social media platform. Even this virtual event that we are having is because we are moving to the digital age, and we can't have a physical. If to say it were to be a physical, then we will not have enough representation. But because it's virtual, we have people joining us from different places all over the world. So I feel like you've actually really, really made a good point. So now, Maigali, I'm going to ask you that, what do you think? Because I know that Maigali actually is somebody that preaches or is so enthusiastic about using LinkedIn. I'm very, very sure that. So Maigali, what do you think about creating assets for yourself using social media? How do you think that can have? How do you think people, women especially, can leverage social media to create to grow in their own network? Do you think that it's important for women to be able to use social media to create a platform for themselves?
I think social media, especially for professionals, LinkedIn, it's a great opportunity to breaking the boundaries and reach more people to make them know about yourself and what you are doing. Try to persuading all the people with the quality of work that you are producing. Make others know what are your daily tasks. What about your job? What about your community? Try to engage which is with each other to make a fruitful discussion to engage with more people. I think it's a very good opportunity for anyone to build a good profile on LinkedIn. And if you would like to expose yourself, you shouldn't ask, I need a job. No, it's this wrong. You should offer the people or in the world what are you doing and what are your skills and qualifications that you have through your posts that you share. What's the useful posts that you share it daily. Also, try to engage in different communities and volunteer your time if you have a free time to volunteer yourself to do something useful for people. Also, make advice through social media and will let people understand your mind. How are you thinking and how you can make your life better. So I think social media, especially LinkedIn, is very useful for anyone to build a good profile and expose yourself. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much,
much,
Maigali. So
Mike.
because we are running
Thank
out
you so
of
much,
time,
Mike.
we might not be able to take other questions. So I'm just going to ask Chinyere, Mona Lisa, and yeah, to just drop their last word of advice. If you have any advice to share, please can you just share it now? Chinyere and Mona Lisa. So Chinyere, can you go first?
I think my advice for young ladies out there, I'll tell you to believe in yourself. It's your dream. Hold your dream so strongly that even if no one has a belief in you, even if no one trusts you, just know it's your dream, it's your vision, it's you. You're the only one that can, that could go through that door. Just keep on being hardworking, keep on being consistent, keep on being persistent, and it would work for you.
Mona Lisa.
Okay, my advice to ladies out there is that continue yielding yourself to learning. You can never be full of information. Find out everything that you have to know about a certain field that you are engaged in, whether you are doing remote sensing, you are into GIS, whatever you are doing, allow yourself to build those networks that enable you to learn so much information, to learn as much, so that at the end of the day, you are the best of yourself. At the end of the day, even if people want to shortchange you, even if they want to discriminate you, they don't have a choice, because you are so full of information, you know what you are doing. Because at the end of the day, as women, we have that disadvantage which has been talked about. So we need that extra push, that to go that extra mile. So continue learning. That's my advice to African women in GIS. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you so much, ladies.
It was a really interesting session and discussion to listen to, enlightening indeed. Just to give an overview of some of the things that came up during the conversation, I guess one thing that we can all agree on is believe in yourself. Learn to fight that imposter syndrome. Learn to believe in what you are capable of, the skill that you have, and that you have got what it takes to do whatever that needs to be done and be good at it. And then also there's something that Stella said that struck me a lot. Learn to say no. I understand that as young women, or even still older women, you want people to accept you in the workplace, because many times we get to be called, or there are ways like women are emotional. There she is getting emotional, stuff like that. But I think it's good for your sanity and for your mental health to say no when it's not possible, when you have other commitments, learn to say no. So thank you so much for that one, Stella. And then finally, don't shy away from opportunities, ladies. It doesn't matter how young you are. If an opportunity comes knocking on your door, take it. And always make sure that before you walk away from a table, you are ready to walk away, because there are a lot of people waiting for that opportunity. So make the best out of it. But thank you so much, ladies, for joining us tonight. It is unfortunate that we are out of time. Hopefully we'll get to continue this someday. But today, this is where we end. Thank you so much. So we'll try to address a few questions from our audience. One of the questions, I think I'll direct it to Mai, because I think she's been in the industry for longer than all of our panelists. The question says, have you noticed any change in efforts in the recruitment of women in GIS from African firms?
Excuse me, can you repeat your question?
All right. Have you noticed any?
I think
she might have dropped.
Okay. I think that I can just help her with that. So there's a question that says okay, let me look for the question that I had to close my chat. So I think this should be what we'd use to round up the event. Oops, I can't find it. Can somebody help me with that?
Yeah, so the question was, have you noticed any difference in African firms recruiting, more African women within their firms?
Hello, Mai, did you get the question?
Okay, let me pick up the question.
Okay.
So far in this year, some of the job vacancies we've seen so far have been tailored specifically for women. We see more industries or companies demanding for women to join the industry by creating a job for them. Like you say, a job in advert saying this is just for women. And where I worked previously before I joined the academic, I joined as the only female in the industry, but within 3 months or so, we had more women joining us. So in Africa, most companies are already buying the idea that women are thriving, and that women are skillful, and that women can do the job as well as the men. So more rooms are being created for women to join in the industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chidima, for that. And so I think that on the final note, I just want to tell anyone that might be listening that if you want a community, you're a woman in Africa, and you want a community to support you in your GIS career, please make sure that you check the African Women in GIS community social media platform. We have a Twitter handle at African Women in GIS, and you can also check us out on LinkedIn at African Women in GIS. We are always open to take anybody, and I'm so sure that it will really, really be helpful to you. Shirley, do you have any other thing you want to say before we go?
Well, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and thank you to our panelists, and thank you to North Star of GIS for giving us this platform. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. So if you check the chat, you will see the link to the Twitter handle for African Women GIS. Yeah, thank you for dropping that. So I think yeah, you can also see our website. Yeah, we also drop a link to the website. So please, if you want to join our community, we are hoping that you reach out to us. You don't have to be shy. Please just reach out to us. We're very welcoming and we'll help you with anything that you need. Yeah. So I think that should be all.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
really
you so much.
Presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you everybody for joining. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. The recording is still on.